You see the moon shining very brightly upon a building, as this building is a police department, and you see cars, black cars pulling up on this building. It's not just a few, it's multiple, as men in black suits walk out of the black vehicles that just got parked in front of the police department, as they all rushed in. As a little bit of time passes and they get to as the men in charge of the black suits walk into the chief's office, the police chief of the police department, as he walks up and he looks at this man that is the police chief, as he says, "Sir, we would like to see the prisoner." As the man looks at the man in charge of the black suits, or I should just call them FBI agents now, it's easier that way. As he looks at this man, as he says, "Who are you?" As this man says, "My name is Shota Aizawa, and I come here to represent the FBI, as we have taken a big interest in this case." As you see the police chief squint his eyes at this, as he sighs, as he says, "Go ahead, fine. It's not like I got any, it's not like I can do anything. You're the FBI, for God's sake." As he gets up, as he says, "Would you like me to escort you to the prisoner?" As the man, or should I say Shota Aizawa, says yes, as he looks at the man's tag, as he says, "Yagi. Yes, I would like you to escort me to Toshinori Yagi." As Toshinori just looks at him, just shrugs and escorts him and the men to the prisoner. As Toshinori escorts the men up a few stairs into a hallway, turns right and walks a little bit further until you go into a room. He opens the door and gestures the men to go into a room. As they get into a room, he closes the door, as you see another room, but a boy in this other room, and they see this one-way glass. Looking through it, seeing this boy that is sickly pale, almost to the point of him being gray. You see his messy brown hair and dark brown eyes, as you can obviously tell that there's something wrong with this boy. And after a observation of just looking at this boy, Aizawa can see the boy twitch a lot as he asks, so this is the boy that has been murdering so many people. His kill count since he started a few years back. How long was it ago? He asked one of his men. As one of his men say, 5 years, sir. It has been 5 years since this boy started murdering, starting with his father. As Aizawa asked Toshinori to let him in. As Toshinori opened the door, opened it for Aizawa as he walked in. As you see this boy turn his head to the door that just opened. As he squints his eyes as he sees a man in a black suit. Think the sound that I just made of him ticking pretty much. Just think of that. Whenever I do that, he's ticking pretty much. So yeah, as you see Aizawa get into the chair, the opposite side of the table from Toby, as that's his name, Toby Midoriya. As Aizawa looks at him, as he says, so you are Tobias Midoriya. As he squints his eyes at that, and he ticks a little bit. As you can see Toby being agitated by that name. As he says, that's not my name anymore. I am Ticci Toby, or Toby for short. I don't like the name Midoriya. As you see him tick. As you see Aizawa read up on a few things with the paper that he has in his hands, as he just puts it down as he looks at Toby. As he says, tell me, from the start to finish, what happened to you? Toby. As Toby just clicks his tongue, as he says, you know, umpteen people have asked that since I have gone in here. And you know what? I'll finally oblige. As he ticks a little bit. Hey, my name is Toby. I'd like to tell you a little bit of who I am. Since you all care so fucking much. I was homeschooled from a young age. 'Cause, well, You know, the age-old tale. A kid has mental disorders. The kid is bullied. Everyone always picks on the retarded kid. They called me Ticci Toby because of my goddamn tics. I wasn't retarded, though. I was troubled. I had Tourette's and a whole slur of disorders. But my favorite was the one that made me completely numb to any pain. Too bad it didn't work. Too bad it didn't work for a broken heart. Anyways, I lived with my mom, sis, and dear old dad. You see, Dad was just an amazing father, always getting drunk and beating us. He's dead now. Sis, sis died from a car accident. I suppose I grew more distant after that. Who the fuck needs a social life? I have the voices in my head to keep me company. And to think those pesky doctors tried to silence them. As Toby looks at Aizawa and looks at him in the eye. As you see Aizawa with a blank face, no expression. As he took his eyes away from him and he continued his story. So, anyways, I butchered dear old dad. Afterwards, I decided I could end it all and escape this meaningless world. But then I blacked out. Next thing I know, this thing is standing over me. It had no eyes, no nose, and no mouth. But somehow it spoke to me. Toby, open your eyes, child. I did as he asked. It is not your time for your end. And he was right. That was just the beginning of my story. As you see Toby click, tick a few times, as you see the lights begin to flicker, and you hear static all around the room, as the men outside the room, their ears, noses started to bleed as they fall to the ground in pain and they pass out due to the sound. As Aizawa could hear some noises from the other side of the door. As he quickly got up, he looked at the door. He was about to run to the door and open it, but then something in him felt a presence, another presence in the room. As he turned around, and what he sees completely terrifies him to his core. He sees Toby Midoriya out of his chains and standing up from his chair, and a 11-foot figure right behind him, just staring at Aizawa. Just like in Toby's story, it had no nose, no eyes, no mouth, but he can tell the figure, the thing, was staring at him. As he didn't notice it before because he was just staring in complete shock, but he could hear it, the static all around, and the lights flickering, the papers on the table swishing off, flying off the table. And after a few seconds of the lights just flickering on and off repeatedly, disorientating Aizawa, and a paper flying into his face. He quickly got the paper out of his face. By the time he took it off, everything was over. Toby was gone. The same could be said of the thing that was with Toby. As I was just standing there, shocked and horrified. As you see Slenderman teleport Toby to the weapons room, where they confiscated his weapons and clothes, as he was in a straitjacket because of him biting on his hands and showing his flesh off of his hands. As whenever they got into the room, Toby immediately searched for his weapons, and he saw a drawer with his name on it. As he smirked, as he pulled the drawer out, opening the drawer, as he sees his hatchets, his jacket, his clothes, his mask, and his goggles. As he puts all of that on, and you see him putting it on, and you see this without the blood. As he looks at Slenderman, and he ticks. Slendy, let's have some fun. As he readies his hatchets, a Slenderman teleports them out of the area, never to be seen again. Or is it? And that is the ending of my sneak peek into part 1 to What If Deku was Ticci Toby. Part 1, like I said. But yeah, this was just a little 20-minute sneak peek. I honestly didn't think it would be this long, but yeah, I hope you liked the sneak peek and what I did with the characters. And like I said in the other part, this What If is a normal world. So yeah. But I am going to try to make a really good, interesting, how should I say, storyline for this What If. I only made part 0, so this is for you to get you invested on part 1 while I continue on making part 1s for all of my what ifs that have part 0s. So yeah, I hope you like this sneak peek, and I hope you have a good day or night, whatever your time zone is, my Marshall family, and peace out.